Hey, bud.
Hey, sorry. Game was tabbing back in. I didn't know you wanted me to start.
Videos! All right, Datto, what's going on, man? How
Hey,
are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome, awesome. So,
Pretty good. Okay.
guys, just so you know, this entire episode's scripted down to the last
100%
point. Yeah.
scripted. All these pauses, scripted.
Yeah?
It's in the
Scripted.
script. It
Yeah, it's
says
actually really
pause.
good.
Alright, so what are we doing?
All right, so we're here to talk about stuff, but before we do that, just in the case that like people don't know who I am Gathalion. I do Destiny and Borderlands videos and streaming, and you are
I am Datto, and I do a lot of YouTube content and occasional streaming
nice,
for Destiny.
yay! And we're here today to talk about the potential late, very late launch of House of Wolves, which was originally thought to be coming out in March. March 10th was the original leak that was
Right.
all over the internet. Yeah, and
Yeah, I mean, now they just announced in the weekly update that it's coming Q2, so April, May, June,
yeah,
somewhere in there. I think a lot of people are anticipating somewhat, April, maybe May. I don't think many people are expecting June. I don't think we're going to go that long without anything. But they did push it, from based off of what they originally, I guess, were thinking was going to be the deal. So yeah, that's going to leave a little bit of a gap content-wise.
Do you think the push to Q2 may have been in response to the negative reaction to the Dark Below?
I think it might be. You know, with Dark Below coming out, they didn't have a lot of time to kind of respond to fan complaints, I guess, or
Sure.
fan worries about the game. Most of that stuff I'm sure was already in testing phases. They weren't going to add anything. But with, House of Wolves, they got a little more time to maybe work on it. And maybe they can actually change a couple of things. I'm not anticipating major sweeping changes or anything like that. I think that kind of stuff is more reserved for the Comet expansion whenever that's coming. Although I think they said sometime this year that it's coming.
I'm sure they're contractually obligated to have it out before the end of the year,
Right,
I would
yeah.
assume.
I believe
Or
actually
well
in
into the
in
holiday
the
season.
earnings report they said major expansion and House of Wolves coming in 2015. So it's very likely that it'll hit in 2015. But
Right.
I would like to think that maybe with House of Wolves, with the story of the Awoken and all that kind of stuff is maybe going to be a little more fleshed out. Maybe a couple more story cutscenes. Maybe some
A
stuff.
couple more. Did we have any cutscenes other than like the Eris trailer? Really?
For Dark Below,
Yeah.
no, not that
Yeah.
I recall.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, very
It's
very big missed opportunity.
yeah, I thought so too. It's funny because Luke put out the what was it on NeoGAF, the NeoGAF post
Right.
about them realizing they made mistakes with Dark Below, and I wonder if they needed the time to go back and change things like the whole exotic upgrade system, because I'm sure that's something they had fleshed out before the Dark Below, and they thought maybe that was going to go over well, and it did the opposite of go over well.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I guess they were kind of thinking that a lot of people were going to be happy that they could, keep their exotics. I didn't think they were going to introduce an entirely new set of exotics, but just the fact that we can bring with us and make them stronger, people would have been stoked for that, and I'm sure people were, but probably not too many people were stoked that they had to re-level an entire arsenal of.
I think it was losing the perks is what pissed most people off.
Right.
Is the weapon became like effectively significantly weaker out the gate once you upgraded it. So it was like an upgrade and a downgrade all at the same time. But that's sort of like a side note to what
Yeah.
we're wanting to talk about. There's going to be a large lack in content, and I'm curious about how many people are going to continue playing. Do you see it as like, oh well, this is sort of like a nice break in between? Oh cool, Legendary Engram.
Nice.
Oh my! Oh, it's a fucking class armor.
Oh, of course it is.
Great.
I am used to very long breaks personally. I know not a lot of other people are. And also, we should look out behind us because there's hobgoblins.
Oh, these ones are super rude. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if people want to put down the game for a little bit, get refreshed for the upcoming expansion. If people have done everything that they want to do and they don't want to do anything else, then I think it's totally fine to go take a break, play some other stuff, come back to the expansion feeling refreshed, wanting to play some Destiny again or whatever. But there is definitely going to be that gap of, what do we do? And with the original Destiny, we had the hard mode come out at the same time as the normal mode. But
Exactly.
But with here, it came out like, a month and a half later? About?
Yeah, that's what I sort of expect from House of Wolves as well. I think they'll follow that chain of release, which makes sense. It's a nice way a smart way for them to spread out content more and
it. But I mean, the Iron Banner stuff is cool. I don't know if that's like a big get to bring people back. It's just more of like our stuff actually matters now for a little bit. Let's enjoy it.
Right.
I don't think that's like the big pull that's gonna get people back. I think
honestly, loot and gear is what pulls people back.
Right. I mean, that's gonna be the main thing that's gonna keep bringing people back. I would like to see some ranking systems added to Crucible. I don't know how deep that is in the works, but just like I made a video a little while ago that talked about auxiliary progression and how there's basically none of it in Destiny, at least none that like people really think matters. Like
Paragon levels in Diablo.
Right, exactly. Like Paragon levels overall, they give you a very, very small stat increase, but otherwise it's literally just a number. But people like that. They like to know that they're still progressing towards something else, even if it is just a number. And I guess the faction leveling doesn't really do it for people, especially because it is just a number, but there's nothing like tangible that you can get from it. It's all kind of random. Like you could get a shader, maybe, but then sometimes you might just not get anything.
Wasn't your Paragon level kind of like publicly viewable as well?
Right. You could kind of see it's somewhat. I don't want to say exactly like Grimoire score, but it's in the same vein in that everyone can see it. And if your Grimoire score mattered, as opposed to like your level mattering, you would see a lot more people maxing out their Grimoire. Like
absolutely.
If that actually had an effect.
It has a small effect. There's a few bonuses, but
I don't think they're enough. Wow, I got nuked. I don't think they're enough to really warrant, digging through all of them. Like, I'm only missing the PvP ones, but I have no desire to go, like, play Clash or Rumble or whatever.
Sure.
And the only reason I'd go get them is just so I could have them. But, I mean, I guess that is, like, another sense of auxiliary progression. But they just need more stuff like that. Stuff for people to work towards.
I think we need more events. I mean, the Queen's Wrath was great, but it was the only PvE event since launch, and that's kind of silly to me. I'm probably going to be super dead. But yeah, that seems really silly that they can do things like that and yet just don't.
The the Queen's Wrath event itself needs a little bit of work, to say the least. But I mean, I would love to see public events being more of a big deal. There
needs to be more of them.
More variety. Even if it's just adding like random ones, like the Vexer coming to Earth, like what's going on, or Cabal on the Moon, what the hell? Like anything to just kind of spice it up or make them more, like a little more extravagant, but literally, anything else that can add to the game that's going to give people that sense of wanting to keep playing something like Paragon levels is more
like just in between now and the House of Wolves, because let's say worst case scenario comes out in June and then hard mode comes out in July. I think the game would be fine between July and September when the supposed comet comes out. But if we're waiting until June from now, it just seems like we need something. I mentioned like in Skype earlier how I thought it'd be cool if they recycled old content. I don't know how hard that would be to give us like a level cap raise and do like a hard mode plus for the current raids and let us go get new gear out of there, or if that would bring people back. I feel like it would in between now and House of Wolves, but I don't know if that's something that's exactly along the lines of what they have planned just yet.
If they could bring back, you know, the old VOG and what's going to be old Crota's End, you know, maybe just add some difficulty modifiers. Just like, you know, add light switch or something like that. Just add something, give people, you know, an emblem or a shader for completing that stuff. Just like, you know, to make people be like, you know, I want to go get that rare thing that not a lot of people are going to be able to get. Just any extra incentive to have people go play the game.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Bungie is smart enough to know that the game needs something in between now and then, especially if it's going to be so long.
Yeah, like we were saying before we started, you know, if House of Wolves comes out in March, then we have this big content gap from March to September, if that's when the comment's coming out. You know, either way, there's going to be some kind of content gap that they need to fill, and auxiliary progression, I think, is the #1 thing that they need, just in the game in general. In general,
yeah. It's just the game always just needs more. It's not quite there yet. It's just more is good, more better, more mans to kill.
Bitter. Exactly, more mans.
More mans. I don't know, man. I'm hoping that we see something soon, not only from like because I stream it a lot, you know, so not only from like a content producer standpoint, but just because I love the game and I don't want to wait that long without anything, and hopefully Bungie brings us something cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, people love to complain about Bungie, Destiny, but you know they just released numbers. 16 million people have played the game. Massive amount of hours being played. You know, people really like this game, and I think we're all the same in that, you know, it's not like we hate the game, we just care about it so much because we know the potential of it is just so huge, and that's all
it's massive.
Yeah, it's just, you know, we want that potential to be realized sooner, preferably, than later.
Oh, this jerk is being a jerk over here.
These assholes are
assholes. What do you think the potential there could be for, like, mini DLCs? Do you think there's anything along those lines that Bungie could do, like release a strike or...
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always within the realm of possibility.
Yeah. I feel like there would be some sort of kickback from it not being on the season pass or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the strikes aren't exactly, you know, revolutionary in regards to their design. At least the Will of Crota was not. And,
no, not even a little bit. I wish the strikes were like mini raids, but...
Yeah, I mean, some people like us, we want that to be the case, but other people apparently do not. I had a few people tell me that, you know, they want the strikes to just kind of be, you know, just go through the motions kind of thing, which I find a little weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird to me. I really, but I guess, yeah, you and I are not the typical, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm gonna give us a little bubble because I have no bullets for any.
No bullets is good.
Ow, my face.
Okay, I should be able to take him out with. Oh no, that's a captain.
I got rockets.
I'm dead. Jesus. I'm super dead. I'm super dead, Datto.
Live.
You did it.
Where is he?
Congratulations.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die now. I'm nuking his head. He's almost dead. He's in my stupid bubble. Get out! Oh, that's it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That got pretty hairy.
That was a little slippery, yeah. Ow!
Anyways, guys, in the comments, what do you think Bungie could do to elongate your interest in the game in between now and House of Wolves? Or are you kind of like, yay, man, a break's not bad, I'll come back and love it then. There's plenty coming out this fall, maybe. Maybe you guys are gonna go play, what's that game on Wii U with the frickin' squids where it's the I don't remember what it's called. I'm an old man. All right, well, I'm glad I went down that road without an answer. Good talk, man. Perfect. Well, thanks for playing, Datto. This was fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing what people have to say about what they want added in the meantime, or what could keep their interest, or if they just don't give a shit and
Yeah.
they're kind of waiting for the thing. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.